So here we have a phase shift, and we want to graph this function with our phase shift. So first of all, what is our phase shift? So our phase shift is this part right here. And remember that positive means moving left pi over 2 units. So we want to graph this. So we're going to take our x right here, and we have some x's, and this is from the graph sine of x. That's where that table comes from. So we're going to take all of these x's that we have here, and then we're going to add pi over 2 to each one of these x's. So 0 plus pi over 2 gives us pi over 2. Pi over 4 plus pi over 2 gives me 3 pi over 4. Pi over 2 plus pi over 2 gives me pi. 3 pi over 4 plus pi over 2 gives me 5 pi over 4. Pi plus pi over 2 is 3 pi over 2. 5 pi over 4 plus pi over 2 gives me 7 pi over 4. 3 pi over 2 plus pi over 2 gives me 2 pi. And 7 pi over 4 plus pi over 2 gives me 9 pi over 4. Alright, so now we need to find sine of this number right here. So sine of pi over 2 gives me 1. Sine of 3 pi over 4 is 1 over square root of 2. Sine of pi is 0. 5 pi over 4 gives me negative 1 over square root of 2. 3 pi over 2 gives me negative 1. 5 pi over 4 gives, 7 pi over 4 gives me negative 1 over square root of 2. 2 pi gives me, what does that give me? 0. And 9 pi over 4, remember that this is the same thing as pi over 4, which gives me 1 over square root of 2. So now if we plot these points, but we need to remember that we are using our x's, original x, and our y function. So at 0, we're at 1. Pi over 4, we're at 1 over square root of 2. Pi over 2, we're at 0. 3 pi over 4, we're at negative 1 over square root of 2. At pi, we're at negative 1. And at 5 pi over 4, we're at negative 1 over square root of 2. 3 pi over 2, we're at 0. At 9 pi over 4, we're at 1 over square root of 2. And then when we get back to 2 pi, we'll be back to 1. So when we connect our points, we get that is our sine function. And how does that compare to our original? Well, our original sine function looked like that. So we have shifted left pi over 2 units. Let's try another one. Oops. Alright, so here we have sine of x minus pi over 3. I have some points for my original sine function already picked out. So again, the first step is to write down our x's that we're going to use. And notice that on this one, because I'm subtracting pi over 3, I chose multiples of pi over 3 to make my math easier. And notice that our phase shift is going to move us right pi over 3 units is what we expect. So when we subtract pi over 3 from each one of these x's, so we get negative pi over 3, 0, pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, pi, 4 pi over 3, and 5 pi over 3. Now we need to find sine of each of those. Remember that negative pi over 3 is the same thing as 5 pi over 3 on our unit circle. So we get negative 2 over square root of 3. At 0, we're at at 0. At pi over 3, we're at 2 over square root of 3. At 2 pi over 3, we're at 2 over square root of 3. So this is what our graph is going to look like. And that compared to our original sine function, we've been shifted right pi over 3 units. So go ahead and pause the video, and then when you're ready, return, and we'll see what you got. So our phase shift here, we're moving left pi over 6 units. So we fill in our x's. Alright, so we get pi over 6, pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, pi, 7 pi over 6, 4 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3, and 2 pi. And then we want to find sine of value. So sine of pi over 6 is 1/2. Sine of pi over 3 gives me 2 over square root of 3. Sine of 2 pi over 3 gives me 2 over square root of 3. Sine of pi is 0. Sine of 7 pi over 6 is negative 1/2. Sine of 4 pi over 3 is negative 2 over square root of 3. Sine of 5 pi over 3 gives me negative 2 over square root of 3. And then 2 pi gives me 0. Just remember we're graphing this. And so we have 0, 1/2, pi over 6, 2 square root of 3, and pi over 2, 2 square root of 3. 5 pi over 6 and 0. Pi is negative 1/2. 7 pi over 6 and 3 pi over 2 give me negative 2 over square root of 3. And 2 pi, 11 pi over 7 pi over 6 and 3 pi over 2 give me negative 2 over square root of 3. 11 pi over 6 gives me 0. So we should look like this. And that is, of course, our sine function shifted over by left pi over 6.